Okay, so here is the first picture. Okay, so what do you notice about this photo? Which one would be the now and which one would be the past?
This would be
Good. How did you know that?
because it has more cities and it's built
Good.
better.
Yeah. What else do you notice? You can take a second to look at it because I know it's a lot.
There's buildings higher than there were before.
Good. So where can you point those out to me? Good. But what might have caused that change? Do you know? Like, why in the past would there not be so tall buildings, and why now in the future would there be all these tall buildings in this city?
Back then, they might not have had more materials and stuff that they do now.
Good. Awesome. And anything else you notice?
They have cars here, not over there.
Oh, good point. That's right. There's no cars. I'm trying to think. It looks like the waterway runs here. What isn't there on top of the water?
A bridge.
So do you think maybe why would they not have a bridge back then?
Because they might not have the machines or something.
Yeah, bridges are kind of hard to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go over the water, build it. You have to have a lot of materials to build it. You also have to know how to build a bridge. So maybe back then they didn't know how to build it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that sticks out to you? I like the cars. That's a good point.
I think there's parking lots here, not there.
Oh, good point. Yeah, here there's a huge parking lot. This used to be more houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was more residential. Now it's more industrial or business-like. Good. Okay, so we don't have to do all of these. We're just going to pick some. Okay, this one I have to give a little context for. So, have you ever been to the Biltmore House? You know what that is? No? Okay. So, back in the day, I think this was probably this was when Carnegie, so whenever he was basically building railroads, building trains, all that, this is his house. So this is the house when it was in construction time. This isn't now. This is present. This is the past. Is there anything that you noticed about this one?
Here it's built more than over here.
It is, yeah.
And here they don't have as much houses.
Right, so this one, it now looks very pristine here, right? Like clean, and in this one, there's more wreckage and old houses, which maybe could signify that this land is now his. So this is probably the finished product, right? Whereas this is in construction. Anything else you notice?
There's trees here, not there.
Good, yeah. So that's weird, right? Because this is the past, this is the present. So what do you think they did?
Planted trees.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That one's kind of a weird one. This one, there's not too much change, so we're going to have to pay real close attention to detail here. So here's the past, and here's the present. There's a couple, like, major things, but kind of like you pointed out in the first one. What do you see that's different from this one to the present day?
There's cars here, not there.
Good. So what do you think? Do you think there were cars back then?
No.
No. Right? So what did people use to get around?
Horses.
Good. So there, and so you don't even. Oh, look, there's a
Wagon.
Looks like some old cars. You see a lot of people walking, but do you still see people walking here?
Yeah.
What else do you notice about this photo?
They've changed that building to this building.
Yeah. What is it now? Do you know what that is?
Nike.
Yeah. Versus a I don't even know what Crouch and Fitzgerald, it's probably like a bank. So now we have more retail stores, right? You can go shopping a lot. Here, not as much. Is that probably anything else? The sidewalks looks the same.
This one looks more built than that one.
Yeah, in what way?
You can't really see the inside of there, but you can here.
Good. So even our photography skills have increased, right? The way we take photos, the iPhones and all the technology we have. Okay, there's just a few more. And I think this one. I know this one. Oh, this is the small town. Okay, so this is a small town, kind of like Winston-Salem or something, versus like New York City. So this is then, this is the past, and this is the present. So what do you notice?
Here has horses and there has cars.
Yeah. Can you imagine? What if you had to take a horse to school? You think that would be a very effective way to get to school? You think it would? You think a horse would be faster than a car?
No.
No, probably not, right? So they all had to use horses to get around. That was probably not the most effective, was it? What else do you notice about the road?
That might have been a dirt road, and that's
Great. What do you think? You think maybe because with time, obviously, time went by, they kind of perfected the way that you pave roads, right? What else?
There has more plants than here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
So they planted those probably, right? Yeah, to make it look pretty. It almost looks like there's more shops here than there were here, you know? Well, because a lot of the times in the past, downtown areas were more the hub of everything. They go shopping and everything. Now we go to like grocery stores instead of going downtown. So there's not really much going on. Almost feel like there's more stuff. This one looks really old. It's kind of cool. Okay, and I think there's one more. Oh, this one. This is not from. This is an older. Okay, this is the then. This is the now. What do you notice different?
This one has old-fashioned cars.
Yes. So what have we upgraded from? There used to be horses. Now what?
Old-fashioned cars.
What's the difference between those and what we might see nowadays?
They look older.
Yeah. What specifically? Like, how would you know? If I were to put like an old car in a new car, how would you be able to say that really? I can tell that one's an old.
It's a weird shape.
Okay. What kind of shape? Show me what you mean. Versus like, let's pull out. See, is this not a weird shape?
That's a weird shape.
That's a weird shape, right? Yeah. Where's the? We don't have any with regular cars. So, or like this. So what makes it different? How do you know that this is old versus something like this being newer?
This one doesn't have as big windows.
Yeah. The way the car is just shaped is old looking, right? Like this is just what it used to look like. They used to do this shape more often versus now they do kind of modern shape, right? Look at this though, crazy. What do you notice about all these cars?
There's a whole bunch of them lined up.
Yeah, and what do they look similar or different?
Similar.
Isn't that crazy? If you look out at all of our cars are different, right? Back then, they used to only make one car, and it was called the T model, or Model T. I'm sorry, by Fred T. Ford, and they only made one type of car, so everyone's car looked the same. Nowadays, I bet you have different colored cars, different types of cars. Probably your mom has a different car than your friend or your dad or whoever, right? Crazy, right? That's kind of cool with that. And then let's see what else. Okay, and I think I feel like there's, what do you notice about the people? Are there any people in this one?
No.
So what, look at all the people here. So what's going on? Any guess, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be right. It's just a matter of what would your brain like? What does your brain go to whenever you see all these people from the past? Versus now, there's no one.
Maybe the stores don't have very good stuff in them.
Good. So now it's like, nah, it's a drugstore. Who wants to go there? I don't even know what something company. So people aren't shopping in the stores as much. What else? Maybe one other reason.
There could have been more people back then.
Okay. There's been more people, so more people in this city, so they might be downtown more often. Okay, and then we have one last one. What was the... Unless I turn it off. I think that was the... What's that one? We had it done. Yeah, it's the last one. Okay, so this is New York City. Yeah. So what do you notice the difference between this one and this one for New York City?
This one has more people.
Yeah. So it's more busy. What else?
The cars are different.
They are. Yeah, do you notice this is a trolley? So it's an old-fashioned car, and what is this? That's...
A bus.
Yeah, a bus. Did buses exist back then?
No.
No, not in the way that they are now, right? So if you were to show this picture, if you were to see these two pictures in a magazine, could you tell automatically that this is the modern one and this is the past one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What way? How? What's the main difference?
Because cameras back then didn't have color in their pictures.
Good. Awesome. That's a great point. So you can automatically say, oh, this is older because it is from the past. Cameras didn't have colors. Now our cameras have colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this can be more present day simply just because of black and white versus colored. That's a very good point. That's something most people don't pick up on. Okay, anything else?
The people here are wearing older clothes.
Yes, that's right. So that here they almost look like more relaxed versus what are they all in? Like coats. Look very businessy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these ones newer clothes, right? Something else kind of cool that maybe I don't know if you saw, but you notice there's not any. Here's technology. We have a hand sign that can go up or away to tell if you to walk or not. Here, was that back then? Did we have that back then?
No.
How did we get that? How did we change?
We got electricity.
Yes, very good. So now we use that in a lot of different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we didn't have electricity, or at least in this sense. Now we're using it in the buses, in that word right there, in this lighting. See all the lights that are in here
Mm-hmm.
versus it being so dark. Anything else?
The windows are different.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look, they changed. Oh, and this.
And then here they have like the little stairs and balconies.
Oh, so what do you think that is? Do you know what that is? It has stairs and balconies. Where have you seen that? Have you ever seen those before?
Mm-hmm. Like the porch or something.
Right. So it could be exactly good point. So these are apartment complexes or hotel rooms or something. Whereas before it was probably a bank or something. So that's saying we're having to build more apartment buildings. What has maybe changed from the beginning to now? So if we used to not have to build. You even notice, like, look at all the people. There's not as many people here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now in big cities, we're having to build all these apartment buildings because more people are moving there. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just like nowadays in maybe a city, you're having to build more houses because more people are moving to Charlotte or something. So it's a great point. That's an apartment building versus some kind of bank, sorry. Anything else?
The tree there doesn't have leaves and the one there does.
Yeah, there's a lot more greenery too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's none there. Yeah, so this might have been taken in the winter, right?